Alright, so I want you to imagine yourself, you got your banjo on your lap, and you got the strings. So this is string 1, right here. This is string 2, this is string 3, this is 4, and this is your 5, which is your short string here. Your drone string. There's a funny story behind how that came to be. They couldn't have a string big enough or skinny enough that was long, and they actually made it out of cat intestines, and so that it wouldn't snap. They couldn't have it very long, and people just got so used to playing with the short string on the 5th fret that they just didn't change it back. But if this string and this string and this string were all the same length, they'd all have the same notes, except that this one would be an octave lower. So these two are actually identical once you get to the 5th fret on this one. I don't know if that makes any sense to you. So anyway, I'm just going to show you some simple patterns that just begin. So we're just going to start with some pinching patterns. So you have your thumb is the main one that you're going to be playing the melody with. You will play it on some of these fingers from time to time as need be, but this is your hard driving, fast picking, loud. You're going to get most power out of this one. And so to bring out the melody, most people will arrange a song so that the thumb is getting a lot of the melody notes. And anytime you kick off a roll, and lots of times when you're doing a roll and you come to the next measure, then you'll start with the thumb again. But I'm going to start with just a pinching pattern. So first, you're going to take your middle finger, all right, and your thumb, and they're going to be on the 1st and the 5th string. So we're not going to do much with this finger for right now. So we're just going to pinch those outer 2 strings, and then you're going to strike that center string, the 3rd string. Once you get comfortable with that, I want you to start alternating this thumb on this string and this string. So the 3rd and the 4th string between pinches. So you're going to do now. That looks really simple, so I want you can download a metronome app on your phone for free. I could show you the one that I use if you want. But I would do that with a metronome and just get used to building up good, solid timing. Some people have natural timing, but most of us don't. And if it's one thing I've learned, when I went to my first jam, they're like, you suck, but you're able to keep up and you've got good timing. So you have a lot of potential. So just being able to keep in time and not be sort of lollygagging or jumping ahead, which I do with melodies, but with the backup I'm able to stay in time. It's a load of trouble that you don't have to deal with, but you have to put in the time with the metronome. I mean, I did that. I think my first 2 or 3 weeks, I just did this and one other pattern with the metronome for hours and hours and hours. But it does pay off. So if you want, you can even go up to the 2nd string here. You can kind of just play around with it, but just keep that just keep that timing I didn't really mess with that B string until later, but yeah, I mean, just getting used to, you're basically getting your fingers used to where the strings are, how far apart they are, how close your fingers need to be, where you need to hover, all that kind of thing. The other thing is, and I'm not good at this, I'm bad about this, it's something that I'm going to have to relearn, so I'm going to tell you this right off so that hopefully you can build a good habit. But, the work is right here. The work happens right on those strings. So you want to keep yourself close to those strings. Keep where you go where the work is. The work's down here. And I have a bad habit of doing, not so much with my thumb, but with my index finger coming up here, and that's bad. So when you see me doing that, for goodness sake, don't copy that, because that's something I'm trying to learn not to do. So you just stay. See, it's trying to float up there, but you want to stay close to the strings. Obviously, you don't want to be bungling with them, because you'll get caught and stuff. But that's a good pattern to just start on, just getting used to the spacing of the strings. And you'll use pinches, you'll use these type of pinching patterns a lot. Thrown in there as a connector phrase, at the end of a phrase, and you'll be like, oh, what do you do for the next part? And then go into bump it up, some other part of the song. I'm learned there's a song I'm working on called Theme Time, and they do that in Theme Time. They get the end of a phrase and then go into the next part. So it's just a nice sort of hard-hitting turnaround that's different from the da 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 that you'll become so familiar with that it'll make it just want to scream. Another pattern is the alternating thumb roll, which is a great roll to get you used to moving and navigating the strings and getting used to doing it fast and just the spacing and all that, because it's more complicated than the pinching pattern. And that one, it's not used a whole lot, but the bits of it are used all the time. So it will help you, and you can also use it as a backup roll. But it is a little more complicated than most rolls, but it just helps you get the sense of where all the things are and having to interact with all three fingers at once. And so that one goes like this. So when you play it up to speed, so that's that one. So you're let's see if I can turn this so that you can really see what's going on here. It'd be good if I did that right, huh? So I hope what you're saying is that, so the middle finger primarily plays the first string, the D string. The index finger primarily plays the second string. And the thumb primarily plays all three of these strings. The top three, or the bottom three, sorry. It says top and it's bottom, and don't try to worry about that. Really, just learn the actual strings. This is a D, this is a B, this is a G, that's a low D, and that's a high G. So you got two G's, two D's, and a B, which makes a G chord. which is what that's supposed to be. I don't even know if this thing's in tune. Anyway, but yeah, you will play with the thumb on all of the strings, and you'll also play the middle finger, the first finger on these strings when you get a little more apt, and even the middle finger on this string or this string, depending on what you need to do, what kind of work you need to do. So keep in mind that that's a thing, especially when you're doing what's called inside rolls, which I probably should not be getting into, but that's where you start a roll and you start it on the inside, and that just means that your middle finger, you're rolling, you're doing a forward backward roll, and you're not doing this, playing it like this. You're playing it like this. Anyway, so there's also the forward roll, which you always start with the thumb in the middle, middle finger on the first string, and then thumb on the high G string. And then you switch back and you start using that index finger on the middle string. And then you go back and do it with the thumb again. And that's going to be like a measure. 1 measure, 2 measures, 3 measures, 4 measures. And of course, if you want to, you can keep it on the index. It just depends on what you're trying to do, where the melody notes are, and where you're trying to go with all this. You can also do the forward roll on the 5th, the 2nd, and the 1st string. And so you'd start with your thumb on that 2nd string, just like with the middle one, and then switch it to the index. And of course, if you want to stick around with that index, and you can go backwards. I find playing it backwards is faster, especially when I'm just doing these ones. Or you can go backwards. When I do backup, lots of times I'll just try to turn that into a triplet, which I'm not even going to try to explain those, but that'll be fun stuff for later on. Anyway, I hope some of that helped, and so just take your time. If you have any questions or you can't really make out what's going on, just call me, text me, email me, whatever. What I'm going to do is probably upload this online and send you a link to it. That way you can just watch it, and you can watch it on whatever device, and then you can slow it down, because you know how you can slow down the videos and stuff without messing with the quality. As you know, it's not like low pitched or high pitched or anything like that. Yeah. Anyway, I should probably talk to you about picks and things, but I'm still trying to really comprehend that. Like me, I bought these, and as you can see, I did not bend them back like most people are told to do. And a few people early on were telling me, not my teacher, but other people were telling me that you don't have to, it's just a preference. And I'm so used to playing it like this, with them just as an extension. Alan Mundy does this, or he used to do it. I don't know if he still does. But most people will hammer these back a little bit, so they're a little more bent. Or there's many different types of picks. Anyway, this isn't necessarily the best thing, and I think that also inhibits me. So this is bad. And I think that's why I float up higher and do my little, like I'm a scorpion or something. I think that's why I keep my fingers high, because I don't want to get them stuck on the strings. And so I think it's probably a bad thing that I learned to play it like this. But at this point, I'm trying to decide if I need to rework and start from the basics with that or not, because it's going to be a lot of work, and there's so much I'm working on right now. Also, as far as the thumb pick, all of it is just about taste, tone, whatever you like. I used to always use a metal pick, this guy right here, and a few months ago I switched to various types of plastic picks, and I'm still trying to really find something that suits me. Like, I like the way this feels, and I think it sounds good, but at the same time, especially in the summer months, they tend to slip, and then I'm having to play at an angle. So I don't know. I feel like it's just one of those problems that you just got to deal with. So anyway, there's a lot of people making different types of special picks, and I mean, they're pricey or whatever. These are like $14 at the acoustic shop, and this is like $1. But I don't know. You just got to find something that suits you and will stay on your thumb as much as possible. So anyway, I'll probably try to make a cleaner video of the rolls and the pinching patterns and stuff later on. I just kind of jumped the gun. So, all right, over and out.